What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today, BTC USD. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. Here we are, sitting on top of 117K with about 9 hours left in the day here, just under 9 hours there. I don't believe that we're going to get that move, that slightly higher high to 121K before moving lower. I do think that we're just going to move lower first. Now, how low are we going to go is the question, right? Because we could go all the way back to our prior high right here and back test this for support, 112K, 110K. Bitcoin typically is not that forgiving though, right? I mean, there are a lot of longs. There are a lot of longs. If we were to go down to 110K, you guys, we would clear out like 111K. We'd clear out $6 billion of longs. And don't get me wrong, and probably before we get down there, some of these longs would close, right? They take profits, less profits than they'd have now if they took them, but it would clear out some longs in itself even before we got down there. But all I'm trying to say is I don't know if we go down there because there even though there are liquidations to be had down here and even below that, there's too much demand. There are too many people who are trying to buy this thing OTC and on the exchanges, right? There's too many institutions and countries of the world scrambling to get their hands on it, and they're feeling the FOMO now, right? If it goes down at all anywhere, like there's going to be so much buying pressure, you guys, at this, I think, 113 to 115K area that I doubt we go below there. And there's no price action in history to suggest that we bounce there. But if we're looking at this on the 15-minute time frame, we're going to go to the 15-minute time frame because it's a little bit helpful at times, not always, but just a little bit, right? We go here, we can see that we had a little consolidation range right there, 113K just below there, right? 113 to 113.7. We've got this low over here at about 115K, right? This high right here at 117K just below there. We found support at that already. We looked like we were going to move up. We had this nice little, this kind of like W set up. I would have thought that would have taken us higher, but we didn't. We faked out, and now actually if you're looking at this, here, volume did not come in at all on this move up, but it started to come in as we started to move down here, actually, right? That's whenever we started to get some volume. Yes, that's a green candle, but volume coming in at the lows means there's a transaction of Bitcoin going on. It's probably to the downside. That's my opinion. I don't care if the color is green or red. It should really just all be the same color at the end of the day. But it looks like you moved down with volume, moved up without it. When you're moving down, you're moving down with purpose. When you're moving up, you're not moving up with purpose, at least not right now. Moving down, moving up, and then moving back down. And if we're looking at this here, actually on a relative note, because fibs apply on all time frames. I don't care if it's the 15-minute, the 1 minute, the 15-hour, whatever. They apply on all time frames. High to low, you went up and rejected the 0.5. Now you're back below the 236. Typically, this is very suggestive of lower prices to come. It's as if you have a miniature bull flag, right, or bear flag right here. We take this high to low here. If this is a bear flag, the way that you would check back, and look, you even found resistance right here at prior areas of support, prior areas of support back here, prior areas of resistance, relatively speaking, and you rejected it. It wasn't like a consolidation, you rejected it. The measure move should take you down to about 117K just below there, 116.7K, which if we go to 116.7, that's not crazy, but that does clear out about like $500 million, a little bit over $500 million in longs, right? We've got a lot of shorts piled up here, but I think before we move higher, we're going to try and entice more shorts. That's what's going to happen, right? I mean, if we're looking at this on a one-day period, at one point yesterday, whenever I was making my last Bitcoin video, there were more shorts than there are longs piled on. Now there's more longs than there are shorts piled on. Barely, insignificant amounts, but still. And it looks to me like we're closer to liquidating these longs than we are to liquidating these shorts. Just because we're closer doesn't mean we have to go down there. Don't think of it like that. You'll get yourself in trouble if you do that. Trust me. It's not how you do it. But in correspondence to what the price action looks like, I mean, beyond what we've gone over, you're in a bit of a downtrend in the 15-minute time frame. I had hopes, man. I really did have hopes that we would pump because this kind of formation here, it looked pretty damn bullish. But we weren't getting any volume in that weekend time frame. It's harder to do things sometimes, you know, to the bullish effect, right? It's easier to do the bearish stuff. But we didn't get above that. What was I going to say? I was also bullish because the RSI here, we had lower lows, we had lower highs, and we turned it into a sideways trend. It looked like we were starting to shift it into an upwards trend, but we just rejected the overbought zone, and we got back down here. It's definitely a weak 15-minute RSI overall, right? You can't get overbought. You're looking like you're about to get oversold, and I would expect that we do. We probably see some continued oversold readings like this on the overbought side, but over the weekend here. I don't think it's going to be anything extreme. I don't believe that we're going to give all of this move back, but I don't know, man. I'm waiting to see what happens, and I'm very skeptical of the price right now. I think that we will see prices down around 115 to 113K before we start moving up again, and that's fine. Who cares? Whatever. It's not a big deal. If we look at this from a low to a high, let's see. Low. Come on now. Give me that low. Give me that. There we go. Okay. Low to high. Give me the high. Okay. 069 double top right there. Probably down to the 236. Bitcoin loves its 236. It really does love it. I'll prove it to you, right? From that low, that same low, we go all the way up to this high. Look at that. You found support right there at your 236, right there. Again, from a low to a high here, if we take this low right here, this relative low to a high, come on now. I mean, you can see it, right? 236. We're right there, right? I mean, of this move, like right where the meat of the move started, you even found support at this 236, right? And then if we're just taking this base overall, it's not that significant of a base, but it's somewhat significant. I wouldn't be surprised if we found support at 116K. Now let's see if we can overlap that with another fib. Let's just see from a low to a high here. Yeah, look at that. Right there, 1272, 1414. We have wicked just below the 236 on a couple of these, so probably even just below 116K. I doubt that we go below 115.6K on this next drop. Now we can still go down there. We still can go lower. Like maybe we go low like this, we bounce up, and then we continue to go lower on Monday or something like that. That could happen. And then we reverse on Monday right afterwards. Like I think Monday stands a chance to be a really good day. If not, sometime between Monday or Wednesday, we should be moving back up again. Looking at this on the 4, but the 1 hour time frame too looks pretty bearish, right? You can see it. We're kind of in an area where you'd expect to bounce, right? Lower, maybe it'd be like this. Lower lows. Maybe we come down a little bit more. We bounce off the 40 area, come up here, reject the 60, continue our downward sloping trend in the 1 hour RSI, something like that, till we get into that oversold area. We haven't been oversold in the 1 hour RSI in quite some time. Maybe we're overdue for it. It would make sense that we go down a little bit, right? Again, I'm not expecting anything too dramatic. And at the worst case scenario, I think 13K will hold. I mean, at the worst case scenario, 110K, but I doubt that if we get down there, that's very fortunate for a lot of bears, first off, who were almost liquidated last night, and very fortunate for all the bulls who want to buy up at those prices, man. Looking at the 4 hour time frame, very bullish RSI, extraordinarily bullish. I mean, the further out we get, it's even more bullish, right? The short term stuff's bearish, and that's why I think only over the weekend are we going to move down, and barely. It's not going to be anything too crazy. But the 4 hour is very bullish. We're in a position here, just like I was saying on the 1 hour, where we might bounce. On the 4 hour, we might bounce too. And this could get us set up. I mean, it's possible, that you find a little support here, and then maybe we close a 4 hour candle with a slightly higher high, something like that. Maybe you get that, and then you get the bearish divergence, and then you move down. I don't know. It sounds nice, but I don't know if we get that. I'm not necessarily anticipating that right now. What I would more anticipate is probably a move down to the 60, even down to the 50, get a higher low, however you want to draw it. It kind of between the 60 or the 50 makes sense to me. So lower on the 4 hour time frame. Even if we move up, probably lower. 47 minutes left in this 4 hour time frame. We are at a good area to bounce. And do understand, if we get a 4 hour time frame, maybe let me rephrase this. If we get above 119K, there's a very solid chance, if we get above 119K, that we go up to 121, okay? And if we do that, that's fine. But understand, if we move up over the weekend, we will likely move down to start the week and give that back, right? We'll probably see an even more dramatic drop than what we would see here, right? Like something in this area. It would be, I think the drop would inevitably be at a higher low, but it would be a more dramatic drop overall if we were to continue to move up right now. But at this moment in time, I'm not considering that we do move up to 121K until next week. Not over the weekend, but next week. But time will tell. We'll see. 4 hour time frame is bullish as hell. Just correct a little bit, and then we can get on with our bad selves, right? I'm not worried about the price at all. Let's look at this. Let's take a high to low here. The high from May 22nd, the prior all-time high for like a month there, a couple months. High to low. Went just above the 1414. Now you're finding resistance. This is actually very, very common behavior. And typically, whenever you find resistance here, what you'll do is you'll either go back to the 1272, which, hey, that's right, just below 116K, right? That's a target that we have. And you'll continue to run. If you're in very bullish times, that's exactly what you'll do. We're in pretty damn bullish times, my friends. If not, typically, more typical than that even, it's actually very common to go down to the 886, 786. But I don't think we're going to go down there. I don't think we go to 110K to 108.7K, but I suppose that'd be the worst case scenario or the best case scenario for anybody who wants to allocate more, right? Altcoins, Bitcoin, everything would have a little shakeout, and then from there we'd rip. But that's not Bitcoin's behavior typically. You don't break out to new all-time highs and then come back down below. That's not normal for Bitcoin. Not saying that it can't happen, but that's just not what it normally does. I wouldn't be surprised if we found support either at the 1272, just below 16K, 116K, because we do have targets there, right? But also if we were to find support maybe somewhere between there and 113K, kind of in this area of nothingness. Bitcoin has been doing this where even in these situations where it should go down to these areas, it's been upholding very bullishly and not even hitting the 100 level. So the 100 is the gray line, right? That's not the 100K. That's like the 100% of this retracement is essentially what it is. That's 112K there. So I'm thinking we hold 113K. Time will tell. Volume's picking up though, as you can see here, right? 4-hour time frame. You see how this is the largest candle for volume that we've had, and here, if we're looking at this candle, it kind of looks like we're looking like we want to break down. I don't know. To me, it looks like we are. That's a big wick right there to the upside. We're getting a couple wicks back to back on the upside, and now a full body to the downside. I mean, depending on how this 4-hour candle closes, maybe we reverse here, but I would think that we do keep going down. Now, looking at the daily time frame, things are getting a little bit more bullish. Okay, picking up volume as we're moving up. Good to see, right? We take that high to low. We're just above the 1414, consolidating. I very much think that we're going to continue higher. I don't think that we stop here. Over the days and weeks to come, right? Maybe over the next 2 days we stop a little bit, but over the weeks to come, no, we got a lot higher prospects in mind. High to low here, right? You're not even at this 1272, and this is also part of why I don't think we go back down here, right? Because it's not common to stop here, come back and retrace, do that, and then move up. It's more common when you're here, maybe you retrace a little bit, but you're on a path that essentially will take you to 121K at a minimum, if not dramatically higher than that, right? If not dramatically higher. So I'm definitely not bearish on Bitcoin, right? The short-term stuff, sure. Over the next day or two, over the weekend, sure. Okay, fine. But we're on a path, guys. If you just wait like 3 days, we're going to probably be at 121K in that time, if not earlier. We'll be at 140K by the end of this month of July. I would very much expect that we are. At this rate, I think that we would be at 140K by the end of the month of July. If not there, at least 130K. But with the momentum that we have behind us, you guys, understand Bitcoin's going to move up faster now than it has in a long time, right? This was a faster move than people expected. What happened from April 7th to May 22nd, that move was faster than people expected. But that was still slow. That was actually still pretty damn slow. And we even said that back there. I was like, it's faster than people expect, but it was slower than I thought it would be. Like, I thought it would be faster. I thought it would be something like this, right? I think we're getting something like this right now. We're just in our weekend getaway, right? Like here, it was the weekend, chilled for a second, and then you ripped. We're in our weekend getaway right now. So I think as the week develops, as this week closes and the next week opens, we should start to get that separation and really start to see some phenomenal growth. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we were at like 140 to 160K by the end of this month of July. I'm thinking closer to 140K, but time will tell. I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Remember the goal this week, 1 day, 9 hours left in the week here. The goal is to get this RSI to close in the overbought zone. For if we do that, next week will be anything but bearish, my friends. It'll be very, very glorious, right? I mean, we look at this here. You got overbought on this week. We didn't even wick down on that next week. We just ripped to the upside. What was that? November 11th. Let's see. Yeah, 10th moved up, 11th moved up. There was no downside at all. Like, it was just, I mean, it's really an easy environment to just be bullish. If you just get out of the way, let Bitcoin do its thing, and definitely don't be these people who are shorting it, because man, it's a horrible way to go, right? Everybody else is making money and you're losing money. You're the reason why people are making money if you're shorting. So I would just recommend staying away from leverage trading for anybody. Unless you're going long, but even then, if you're going long, guys, I know a lot of these exchanges do like 40x, 100x, whatever, and Bitcoin, 2% in a day is a lot, so you want to use this high leverage to make a lot of money. But I'm just saying, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. First off, stay away from leverage trading. But if you're going to leverage trade, there's no need to do more than a 10x, okay? There's no need to do more than a 5x, right? Just small amounts. Because then, at least at that point, your liquidation levels are below 100K, and there's no chance in hell we're going there. You know, so even if you move down and you're in the red for a second, you just hold, pay the fees, and then inevitably you'll be vindicated, right? You can hold through a little bit. If you're at 40x, 100x, this can clean you out. Just a little move like that. You don't want to be in that position. So just really stay away from leverage trading. Don't tempt yourselves. It's not worth it. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one, okay? Take care. Bye-bye.